Hi YouTubers, this is Love Bubbles Naturally, and I'm coming to you with another. In my last hair mask video, I believe I covered natural hair confidence, and I also covered
Miracle growing creams, which it was determined there is no such thing as a miracle growth cream. This video is going to touch bases on that as well, because I get a lot of things about growth rate, and some of them are completely false. Your growth rate cannot be changed. There are people or vitamins that claim to improve your growth rate. That is genetic. It comes from your parents, your ancestors. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, if you're Native American, if you're Indian. Your hair growth rate does not go by race. There are black people who grow hair super fast, and there are white people who grow their hair super slow. And there are black people who grow their hair and their growth rate is not that high, and white people who go really fast. There are Indian people that grow really slow, and there are Indian people who grow really fast. It's really genetics, and I don't believe, nor have I found any evidence that it's race related. Now, it's texture related. I've noticed that. And I've also noticed that certain races do have a better length retention than other races. But in the end, it's really on how well you take care of your hair that determines your length retention. If you're not moisturizing and doing what you're supposed to do, your growth rate can be on fire, but your hair will break every time. So you really have to know how to properly moisturize and properly protect your hair. So if you know your hair breaks easily, keep it up. You can't wear it down. Sorry. If you know that the wind itself breaks your hair, there are some people who get split ends, like you just get them, their hair just breaks. Wear more protective styles. Wear your hair out less often. Keep your hands out of it, because your hair obviously can't handle that. So if there's a lotion or a peel that's like, we help increase growth rate, they're lying. They don't do nothing to your growth rate. Nothing at all. I promise you. There's no magical growth cream. And I keep saying this is the second video on it. There's nothing you can do except take care of your hair. There is no shortcut. It's like losing weight. You can pop all the pills you want, but if you don't eat right and exercise, you're gaining all that weight back. You're gaining weight back. So you might as well do it the hard way. And with hair, there really is no diet pill that you can go to and take. Because if there was, I would have found it by now. Trust me, it would be in my arsenal. I'm not even playing. I do not like short hair. Anywho, so that was another myth I wanted to bust, that growth rate myth, because yeah, it's quite ridiculous. The next issue I want to cover in this one was the natural hair rules. There are a lot of naturals that go, you can't do this, you can't color your hair, you can't wear weave, you can't straighten your hair. None of that. If you do any of those things, you can't do this, you can't do that. You always gotta wear your hair in protective styles. You always gotta wear an afro and be Afrocentric, and more power to the people. Otherwise, you're not natural. That's not true. It's not true at all. If you want to straighten your hair, straighten it. It don't make you not natural. That just makes you natural with straightened hair. No big deal. There are no rules. And I think that black are the only people that actually put rules on stuff to make, I guess, elevate themselves. You can't dye your hair. You can't wear weave. I don't wear weave, so I can't say what it would do to your hair. I can't say if it breaks it or if it helps it. But there are some people whose hair grows very well under weave, and some people whose hair breaks under weave. I dye my hair. I experimented with dye over last year. It was my first time ever dyeing my complete hair of hair. I've done highlights. I've never dyed my hair until last year, and I love it. I wouldn't say I'm going to be dyeing it again anytime soon. My hair didn't break. It didn't have any bad reaction to it because I took real care of it and kept it really moisturized so that it would stay strong, so even the old hair could handle it, because when you moisturize it, you build it up and you moisturize your ends. So if you're straightening or dyeing your hair, make sure your moisturized method is on point, so your hair can be strong enough to handle that. And if you are straightening your hair and you're not seeing any growth, you're probably straightening your hair too much. And what I like to think of it is, until you get the length you want, you really need to slow down with the heat. Once you hit that length you want, you can start putting heat on it, but you need to take care of it and you need to moisturize it so you can maintain that length. And yeah. So, in my opinion, there are no natural hair rules. I'm so serious. If I hear that one more time, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't like being told what to do. I have enough rules and regulations in my life. I'm not about to do it about my hair. It's my hair. I'm still natural. And that's final. So if you got a problem with it, get over it. Don't watch my channel. Whatever you want to do. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm natural. Cool beans? Cool beans. Alright. There's one more thing I like to cover, and that's clipping your ends. I'm going to say this as simply as possible. If your ends are not split, do not cut your hair. You do not have to cut your hair every 6 to 8 weeks. You will never see growth. Because every time your hair grows, you're cutting it off. Trimming should be done at least once to twice a year. I trim my hair once a year. There's no way in the world you're getting so much breakage that every 2 months you need to chop off your hair. If you do spotting, that's a different story. If you happen to see a section of your hair that's breaking real bad and got split ends and you just want to trim that section real quick, go right ahead, sweetie. Spotting is fine. And with spotting, you're only cutting up high enough to make sure that split end doesn't damage the rest of your hair. You're not taking off an inch. And most likely, if you're spotting and you're doing it correctly, you're catching it right when it starts to split. So you're not barely cutting off a half of an inch. You're lucky if you're getting a quarter of an inch off on that on that section of your hair, because yeah, it's healthy. Anywho, so when trimming, just be smart about it. You don't have to trim every 6 to 8 weeks. Trim twice a year or once a year, whichever one's more comfortable, and spot trim in the middle. And with spot trimming, just see if you see split ends and then cut them off. But don't cut your hair because it's not necessary. Anywho, this is my natural hair mist video. This is the second one I've done. I really hope you enjoy it, and I really hope you check out my rest of my videos. This is the third video I've uploaded today. I got one more to I'll talk to you guys later. So this is Love Bubbles Naturally. Much peace, love, and chicken wings.